The thumbnail is not fake. From obsidian boats to netherite stairs and even virtual reality glasses, Minecraft has some weird items you probably didn't know about. And yes, 100% vanilla, no mods and no data packs. These are items hidden in the countless updates that Minecraft has had that have been lost to history, so let's get straight into it. Have you ever looked into the gigantic lava lakes in the nether and thought, man, I wish I had a lava-proof obsidian boat that would let me cross this? And yes, I know striders exist, but it's way too much work to get a warped fungus, fishing rod, saddle, and then you have to deal with a brain-dead NPC that can leave you to die. Well, what if I told you that Minecraft actually added an obsidian boat in snapshot 15W14A? But no, it actually doesn't let you go across lava lakes because it sinks. It's obsidian, what did you expect? But all jokes aside, the crafting recipe for the obsidian boat is the same as a normal boat, just with 5 obsidian instead of 5 wood. In this update, you can't actually hit entities, so once you place this boat down, you can't actually get it back. Funny thing is, it also sinks in water, so I honestly have no idea what you'd use this for. It's just an indestructible boat. The next item is even weirder. You see, the bow and arrows in this update are actually turned into the Cupid's bow. Basically, the mobs you shoot with this will start breeding. This update also adds 2 new secret potions, the sharing potion and the caring potion. The caring potion basically urges mobs to get closer to each other no matter what type they are. But the sharing potion is the actually interesting one. When an entity is hit with the sharing potion, they start throwing out random items into the ground, similar to how villagers throw different items to you when you finish a raid. You can get lapis lazuli, gold, diamonds, saddles, and much more. Now there are 2 more weird items in this update, and the first is a bottomless boat, which similar to the obsidian boat sinks. And the second one is the heart sword, which again, since you can't deal damage in this update, is pretty much useless. Now as weird as these items are, I don't want to dwell on them for too long, because I want to focus on the next 4 items: the USB charger block, the reality vision goggles, the smarter watch, and the ankle monitor. These 4 items do actually exist, and they're from the Trendy update all the way back in 2016. The first item are the reality vision goggles. This item is equipped on your head slot, and it displays a 3-dimensional bird's eye view minimap of your surrounding area. It's pretty sick. The only downside is that there's this black overlay similar to how the pumpkin works when you put it on your head. Also, all signs will display obey when you're wearing the reality vision glasses, which is a reference to the movie They Live. Up next is the ankle monitor, which basically puts the player on house arrest. You wear it on your shoe slot, and if you move too far away from the world spawn or go to a different dimension like the nether or end, this happens. Don't worry, the messages stop when you get back into the required range, and it also gives a permanent slowness 1 effect on the wearer. Now, before we get into the last item in this update, I want to talk about the USB charger block. This block is crafted with 7 iron ingots, 1 gold ingot, and 1 redstone, and it basically acts the same as a redstone block, emitting a redstone level of 15. Anything that you put in a 1 block radius will get charged. Not anything super special, but this next item is legitimately cool and useful: the smarter watch. When you put it in your offhand, it displays the time inside the game in real life time in terms of hours and minutes. It also has push notifications for any major milestones the player hits, or if they take damage or craft a new item. Now, I don't know about you, but I definitely use this in regular old Minecraft. Before getting to our next batch of weird items, we have an honorable mention: the horse saddle. No, not the regular saddle you're used to, but specifically a horse saddle, which was craftable in snapshot 13W16A using 3 iron and 5 leather. This item let the player only be able to ride horses, not pigs or striders or etc. But this recipe was actually removed only 2 snapshots later, and now we have the multi-purpose saddle. It was also stackable up to 32 items for some reason, which just feels weird, but honestly, having an early game craftable saddle specific to only horses would be perfect, since you'd still have to explore in order to find the universal saddle. With that, we can continue with the next batch of items, including the infamous netherite stairs. As you might have guessed, these items are from the 20W14 Infinity snapshot back from 2020, which basically let you travel to an infinite number of dimensions. Thing is, some dimensions were handmade by the devs and they added some interesting blocks to go with some of them. For instance, in the terminal dimension, which is covered in lime and black concrete, you can find the cursor block. This block switches each second from black to lime concrete, and it's a direct reference to the computer terminal's cursor, which uses the exact same animation. And now the item you've all been waiting for, the Netherite stairs. By either using the following command or finding the missing dimension in this update, and for clarity, the dimension itself is called missing, you can obtain Netherite stairs. As you can see, they make up the stairs that go up to the chest in this dimension. And look, even though its name is Netherite stairs inside the game's files, the actual name of the item is called the swaggiest stairs ever. Now, we've looked at some pretty weird items so far, but these next ones might just take the top spot. Have you heard of the Minecraft update called Java Edition 3D Shareware v 1.34? I didn't either, but basically it's the 2019 April Fool's update, which turns the game into a more retro, unpolished version of itself. I mean, just look at this, everything is hella pixelated, the UI is different, but more importantly, what are these flaming barrels? Well, they're actually our next item. These spawn around the world randomly and have top tier loot inside them. Thing is, they blow up when you close them, so the only way to obtain them is through this command. The barrels you get through this command function in the same way but have no loot inside them. Now, in addition to the loot I've mentioned before, you can also find yellow, red, and blue keys inside these barrels. Their lore states that yellow keys open yellow doors, red keys open red doors, and the same stands for the blue keys. So I initially assumed that this update has secret colored doors, but it actually doesn't. These items literally do nothing. But there's one last secret item in this update that you can only get by killing a special type of creeper. When you use /nerd with 4 E's, a weird nerdy creeper spawns around the player somewhere, and killing it gives you an item called 3D. If you eat this while your hunger is less than full, this happens. Now, if you don't recognize what that is, I don't blame you because I didn't either. But that's actually a low quality picture of the developer cast of Minecraft. Like, what? But hey, if you thought these items were weird, check out these 29 secret potions I guarantee you haven't heard about. Before the brewing stand system came along, all the way back in beta 1.9, players had to use cauldrons in order to brew potions. So 32 types of potions were created in plans for this system, but after the change to brewing stands, 29 of them were left unused and later removed, with the awkward, thick, and mundane variants being the only ones to survive. Some of these potions make sense, and others, well, I'll read them out to you and let you decide. Uninteresting, bland, clear, milky, diffuse, artless, thin, flat, bulky, bungling, buttered, smooth, suave, debonair, elegant, fancy, charming, dashing, refined, cordial, sparkling, potent, foul, odorless, rank, harsh, acrid, gross, and stinky. Look, I understand stinky and gross, but like milky, yo, pause. But I guess we understand why they were removed now. Lastly, we have some weird items from the 2023 Vote update, which was also made for April Fools. Similar to the Infinity snapshot we looked at earlier, even though there are lots of items that we could technically talk about in this video, a large majority of them don't do much at all. Like, we've got copper sinks that are just recolored cauldrons and literal air and packed air. So I challenged myself to pick only one item that is legitimately interesting: the dupack. When you combine the dupack item with any other block inside the crafting menu, the block will be duplicated, and you can repeat this endlessly. So technically, this is the only intentional duplication method that Mojang has implemented into Minecraft. Here is how to obtain this item. Once the dupe hack occurrence chance vote is approved, the dupe hack item has a random chance of dropping whenever an entity with chests is killed by a player. For example, when destroying a chest in a minecart with a sword. And yes, donkeys and llamas and foxes count as well, but you can also use the following command to get the item, and trust me, it's a lot easier and more humane. What an item to end on. Now, as I've said multiple times throughout the video, I've skipped a ton of interesting items, blocks, and not to mention the mobs. So if you want a video going over all of that and much more, hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss out.